anticipation. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. My name is Brenda Mason, and we are here from everywhere this morning. For the first time, we're co-hosting with Unity Kitchener, and we have guests this morning here from many spots in Canada, including Unity Montreal. Today, we recognize several First Nations across the expanse of Turtle Island. Here in Ottawa, I join with my partner this morning, Reverend Roxanne Buckle, as well as all the members of the spiritual community, Unity Spiritual Centre Ottawa, in acknowledging the Algonquin Nation, on whose traditional unceded territory we are co-hosting this online service. We acknowledge them as past, present, and future stewards of this land. And Marilyn, good morning.
Good morning, my friends. Welcome, welcome. I'm from Unity Kitchener. My name is Marilyn Smith, and I'm here along with Cheryl Rogers to co-host this wonderful service this morning. We also recognize we're on many different lands, but as we gather from Unity Kitchener, we recognize that on the land that is traditional home of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral people. We recognize and deeply appreciate the Indigenous people's historic connection to this place, and of course to this country, and to all of Turtle Island. It is our pleasure to be here with Unity Ottawa, and it's our pleasure to be here with each one of you.
Well, we would love to know where you're from, so please use the chat. If you're not from Ottawa and you're not from Kitchener, let us know where you are from as our community expands beyond our physical limits. Here in Unity, we've used these two ceremonies, the burning bowl and the white stone, for many years. There's a process within the ritual that can transform our thinking and our way of being with ourselves, with each other, and with the world. So in part one, we'll engage our power of release with the burning bowl. There will be a short teaching, and then a meditation, and then the physical ritual itself. We'll be using denials. In Unity, we use denials and affirmations to bring about growth and transformation. We're not denying that we're having or have had the experience, but we're denying that the experience or the situation has power over us. And using the symbolic fire of the burning bowl, we acknowledge and release what no longer serves our highest good now. And for the physical ritual, as I mentioned in the chat, you'll need to round up a small piece of paper and something to write with. If you want to actually physically burn your paper, make sure your flame, such as a candle, is safely secured in something large and heat proof. We don't want you in a situation where the smoke detector goes off in the middle of your release. And we will have suggestions for other ways to release, which we will share later.
Thank you, Brenda. That would be the first part, our burning bowl, the time to release. In the second part of the service, after we've released the power of our limiting thoughts, beliefs, etc., the white stone ceremony is about allowing the space that has been created to be filled with the new that is emerging. We get to practice the sacred art of listening and use our powers of faith and imagination in order to discern and then affirm a word or words, if they become a phrase to you, of truth that arise in our consciousness. And also we'll have more about that later. It is a brand new year. 2022 has just arrived with gusto. Are you really ready for that and all it will have to offer? Open your heart to receive that. We invite you to move into the new year with awareness, letting go of the past, and opening to the new you that is emerging, an ever-expanded expression of your divine nature. For the white stone portion of the service, you might have a stone that you've picked up outside somewhere in nature. You might have a white stone that you have from our previous services. You may wish to use the back of it. Or you might have a small piece of tile or even just a piece of paper to be able to write on. I know in the past when I've done white stone, I've looked for clues. So watch the billboards, watch the trucks going by, watch for things you see in the newspaper or on the internet, It's funny what word turns up over and over again to say, ah, this is my new name. You may want something to write with or a marker if you're using stone. Let's get ready for these rituals of release and a calling in of the new with the song, Get Ready, My Soul, a favorite from Daniel Namod.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Get ready, my soul. Let us take a moment in prayer, or let us take a moment and continue in this prayerful energy that's already been created through the chat, through the beautiful words of Brenda and Marilyn, and the music. And let us join in consciousness to prayerfully support our individual spiritual journey, but also to support each other as we gather through the wonders of technology across Turtle Island, known as Canada, and around the globe. And so we support each other in releasing negative and limiting beliefs, because that's just how it is. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we have these limiting beliefs that we are joining in, allowing the space to let those go. And in that clearing, we establish a new awareness of truth within ourselves, of that divine nature, of that individualized expression of the one power and the one presence that each one of us is. And we recognize that we are now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the divine spirit of life, love, wisdom, zeal, and all of the divine qualities that we possess. We acknowledge the one power and one presence, the foundational principle that guides our lives. And by the light of the power of release, we cleanse from our minds the false ideas of lack and limitation. We release the finite to reveal the infinite. We release a false sense of self to reveal our true divine identity, layer by layer by layer. In infinite wisdom, we now let go of our limitations, and from the pure substance of love, bring into manifestation a greater awareness and embodiment of our divine essence to be revealed in a new name according to perfect divine law. We allow for the presence of divine order as we embark upon this cleansing and calling in. And in that spirit of oneness, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
The burning bowl ceremony is an important and much loved Unity tradition, as it is a symbolic way of releasing that which no longer serves us. By releasing what no longer serves us, we make space for creating something new, something which will serve our well-being for the better. And by doing so, we serve others too. It's an opportunity for clearing out our mental clutter, for creating a clean slate, for something new to take hold that allows us to move forward fully, expressing the divine beings that we are. Over the course of a year, a month, a day, we collect thoughts in our consciousness. As we know, thoughts are energy. And many of the thoughts we collect stick around. They do not serve us well. Over time, they can create blocked energies. They crowd out the possibility of light and creativity and all that other good stuff. Unity co-founder Charles Fulmore said, "Thoughts are things. They occupy space in the mental field. A healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of the old thoughts and takes on the new." Hanging on to unproductive, negative thoughts is kind of like having so much clutter on your desk that there's no room to do the work at hand. Oy vey, you should see my desk, and never mind what's in my head. I've got a lot of work to do. Spiritually, if this toxic energy remains, your life will start to outpicture that same energy vibration. You will be drawn to and attract experiences that you do not enjoy. You'll begin to feel heavy, weighed down, cluttered, feeling heavy instead of heavenly. Your soul seeks the feeling of aliveness, of an expansive, light consciousness. So how do we bring more of this expansive feeling, this heavenly consciousness into our own lives? We do that by becoming free of attachments, by quieting the egoic mind and letting go of anything that no longer serves us. Why would we hold on to it? Self-limiting beliefs are any thoughts that limit our potential or tell us that something is not possible. Think of limiting beliefs as roadblocks in consciousness that have the potential to keep us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stuck. Letting go of these limitations makes space for not only newness, but room for greatness, for fulfilling who we came here to be. To quote Charles Fulmer once again, there must be renunciation or letting go of old thoughts before the new can find place in the consciousness. He goes on to say, the mind, like the bowels, should be open and free.
Our unconscious mind acts on the information it has stored. And as Cheryl said, it's stored everything. We're hearing a lot about data collection these days. We have the ultimate data collector. Every single experience and emotion we've ever had, things that we consciously don't even remember. And our drive gets full. It never gets full. It never runs out of space. It's always adding more data. And then based on all that data, it adds in developed pattern responses, and it seems to always react and respond in the same old way. It's large, it's in charge, and it also loves to keep you fearful. It leaves no room for your true, authentic, self-defined expression. When we can't forgive, when we hold judgment, when we feel the need to be right, when we feel shame, when we feel guilt, we're relating back to those stored events from long ago. How much time and mental energy do we spend back there? The stored negative energy can even impact our health if we leave it unattended over time. I'm the poster child for that. Life can be a struggle. Now, Michael Singer in his book, The Untethered Soul, says that you must give up the struggle to remain the same and learn to embrace change. To live spiritually is to not participate in the struggle. What happens in the moment stays in the moment. Any other negativity attached to it is an old response that we pull out of the files from our inner hard drive. Letting go of these negative patterned responses can make you feel uncomfortable and nervous. Just know this is the work of the ego mind wanting its way. It likes to keep us in fear, and it will go kicking and screaming as we seek the higher ground of letting go. So let's release. Let's delete some of those old files, make room on our inner hard drive, make space for new feelings and experiences so that we can feel and experience in a whole new way. So we'll prepare with a short video, followed by a song, leading into a release meditation that Reverend Roxanne has prepared. Enjoy.
You see, the soul is meant, friends, to feel spacious. Your soul is meant and designed to feel a sense of openness and an expansion, to feel an aliveness of the spirit. So the question is, what do you need to release?
I release and let go in the silence of my soul. I echo the invitation from the video and ask myself and invite you to ask yourself, what is it that needs to be released? And if you haven't already done so, you might want to grab your paper and pencil or keep track of things in your mind. But there is something very powerful about writing things down. I've been writing things as the service has progressed. And so what am I holding on to? What are you holding on to? What is binding me up? As Brenda said, this is about freedom, right? What is keeping me from being as free as I can be? What am I willing to release to free myself? So let's take a few moments and get in touch with that, or get further in touch with that. And so just write as things come to you, and there will be moments of silence for you to capture your thoughts, your words. Take a moment to settle in where you are, if you haven't already done so, and just become still. This is about getting in touch and getting into that aliveness of spirit within us. So at the same time as we become still and go deeper, we are getting in touch with that aliveness of our divine nature. And so just take a few deep breaths and allow the breath to bring you to this now moment. And allow your awareness to be alive. This isn't about falling asleep at the wheel of our divine nature. It's about becoming alive in our awareness of all that is. The aliveness of our divine essence, our Christ nature, our true light, if you will. And so I invite that awareness of light, of truth, which abides at the very center of our being. Breathe into that. Open your awareness to the truth of who you really are. And allow that light of divine essence to help you, to assist you in knowing what it is that needs to be released in order for the soul, the spirit, to just shine a little more fully and brightly and completely as we were meant to. So first, I want to invite you to take a moment and focus your attention on your thinking mind. Most of us will have no trouble doing that. So we're still immersed in the knowing of our divine nature and using the pivotal nature of consciousness, we're pivoting into that thinking mind, and allow spirit to illumine your mind and to reveal to you any of those habitual thought patterns, limiting beliefs, ideas of the small S self, the egoic mind that was mentioned earlier, that you're holding on to. Concepts about yourself and others, judgments. Judgments about the world around you, about your life. Ask yourself, am I willing to release, to be freed from these limiting thoughts? And spirit knows that the reason we still have these limiting thoughts as spiritual beings on this life, on this journey of life school, is that they've helped protect us. They've served their purpose. So just ask yourself, am I willing to let that go? Have I held on to that long enough? And when you're aware of those thoughts that you're willing to release, Allow that energy, as we know that thoughts are energy, allow that energy to move from your mind down your heart into the pen or pencil and just jot it down on the piece of paper. It could be a word, a phrase, a bullet point. It doesn't need to be full sentences. Just jot that down. Jealousy of my brother. Judgment of my neighbor. And when you're aware of those thoughts, keep them coming. Anything that comes to you, trust it, allow it. This is where we don't spend a lot of time in questioning, just allow it. Let the paper capture the energy of these thoughts. Release, 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 release. And now take a moment to let your awareness move from your thinking mind, the mental energy field, down into your heart space, to that feeling nature. And we allow again that light of our inner being, of our Christ self, to illumine the feeling nature. Is there energy that's held there? Negative energy. We don't judge it. As spiritual beings having a human experience, human emotions are normal and natural. And in this time, in this space of divine illumination, we get in touch with those and we acknowledge them. We don't judge them. Resentments. Is there still anger? Is there worry, anxiety, doubt, unforgiveness? Again, we don't judge. We allow for some of the same emotions that come up year after year, month after month, day after day. Here we go again. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for illuminating these habitual ways of energy, the energies, the feelings. Thank you for allowing my awareness, allowing them to be released and let go. Trust what you receive. When you let the light of your inner being illumine what might be there to be released. Invite you not to spiritually bypass, not to be like, oh, I'm a spiritual person and I therefore, I don't get angry, I don't resent. Yes, I do. And I'm just ready to let that go. I'm ready to let that jealousy, that resentment, that anger, that fear, I'm ready to let that go. Because in this moment, I'm aware of it. And I'm ready to become free of that. So let the energy of these feelings be released to travel to the pen or pencil and release that energy onto the paper with a word or a phrase. Again, don't question it, don't judge it. When we allow the illumination of divine nature to light our awareness, we may uncover things that have happened years and years and years ago. We don't question them. We don't say, we just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Write it down so that we can be free. Release, release, release. Oh, sweet, sweet release. Now I invite you to breathe into the area of your solar plexus, that area just beneath your rib cage. That's where a lot of energy, that's a power center that a lot of energy is held about ourselves. Limiting beliefs about who and what I am, those classics, those classic reruns. I'm not good enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not thin enough. I don't belong. I'm not worthy. The ideas about our small s self, those egoic, that persona that we take on through our conditioning of family, school, society. Let the light of divine essence illumine that. That's old energy. Oh, it's time to let the crowbar in. Get some of that. Get some of that. Might not be the first or the last time you encounter that energy. It's built up through the years, and it's layers and layers and layers. And like an onion, we're just peeling it back, peeling it back. Again, don't judge it if you've been here before. It's the human condition's greatest hits. We play them again and again and again. Let the energy move down through your arm onto the paper so it's being released and captured. I let go. I let go of this. I am willing to let go of this. I'm ready to go another round. Ready to let go another round. So the last area that we take a moment and focus on is the physical body. And we let the light reveal to you, to us, if there are any habitual behaviors that I engage in. What habitual behaviors do I engage in that I am willing to be freed from, willing to let go? That might be limiting my experience of life. It might be some escape mechanism, sometimes called addictions, that I might engage in to give some temporary release. Again, it's all okay. It's not to be judged. It's all there for a reason. And if we're allowing the light of our divine nature, that wisdom, that love, that understanding of the truth of who and what I am, I may be ready to let some of that go. Maybe it's being critical, judgmental of myself, of other people, through the speech, through the actions of my body. Am I willing to free myself from that limitation? And again, trust what comes. It's not about judging yourself. It's about freeing yourself. Am I willing to release this? It might be notions about the physical body, the limitations of the physical body. And every time we release an error thought, we allow more and more room for the divine nature, for the divine identity that we already are to come into expression. And so we allow that energy of the physical, of the body, of the actions, of the words to flow onto the paper. A word, a phrase, a bullet point, to be an expression of that energy we're willing to let go. Oh. And so we just take a final moment and visit the mind, the heart, the solar plexus, and the body. Just check in and see if there's anything else you're willing to let go of in the moment. And if so, just jot it down. And as we prepare for the physical ritual of release, I invite you to just join me in affirming, I let go of the power of these limiting thoughts and beliefs and release them to my unfolding good. Now let's move into the physical ritual of release. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Roxanne. That was a beautiful meditation, allowed us time to really go deep into those areas of the space of the body, mind, heart that we may want to find some release from. If we were gathered physically, now would be the time that we would walk towards the front, light our paper, which I have managed to write several things on mine that I wasn't realizing until that meditation. And we'd light it from the Christ candle, divine love white candle, and put it into a very protected metal bowl and allow it to be seen to release as it burns. We're not gathered physically right now, but we're gathered emotionally and we're gathered spiritually. So there'll be a way to do this that speaks to you. And please be reminded that sometimes this release is very emotional. Feel free to have tears come. Tears are release, and that is okay. If you find that you have some release that you'd like to speak to anybody with, our spiritual leaders like Reverend Roxanne and Cheryl Rogers are there for you. Our prayer partners, if you'd like to actually get in touch with anybody, you are more than welcome to do that. Sometimes release takes a little bit of support as well. As you look at the paper, and you may want to add more to this later, you may want to do this whole ritual again anytime. This happens to be our new year, our beginning, our way of releasing, but it can be done at any time you feel this is a necessary thing for you to do. So the release is not about the new year, it's about the new year, the new you, but that can be at any point during the year at all. So when you're ready, silently, meditatively, you're invited to participate in that act of the physical release of your paper. It's really the physical release of these thoughts being let go into the universe. And we use the act of burning, so they are ritually let go of. They're dissolved into ashes. They're let go into the ethers. This could be you actually safely burning your paper via a candle, insert it into a large metal bowl. You may wish to do it outside, so it's a little bit safer again. It may be another suggestion to just tear up the paper. Let it go in a release of tearing, ripping apart, or crumpling. Whatever way that is, you could throw it away. You could put it into the recycling. Depending on your septic system, you could flush it down the toilet if you want to. Whatever may make sense to you, make sure that you look at it, you read it thoroughly, you hear the words you've written, and you release it and are able to let it go. Let your mind be free and open up to the new. You decide the best ritual, and it may be even metaphysically. You may just read it and allow it to be released and envision your list dissolving. You can decide on the best ritual to feel that you are fully releasing and letting go of all that you have written. Let's celebrate this release and clearing and prepare to welcome the new with Daniel Namod, Everything New.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. Think I finally learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
That feels good and it feels satisfying. I had this image of it's like someone special is coming over, and we want to get the house tidied up. We want to shine with our best because who's coming is very precious to us. So now we're tidied up, we're in order, and we're able to now welcome what is coming. And we will do that with our white stone ceremony. White stones were given to prisoners in ancient Rome when they were released to signify their freedom. Well, fast forward to today. Aren't we all living with some kind of bondage through our thoughts and beliefs and conditioning, get load, etc., etc.? We're bound in many ways. And through this ceremony, we receive a symbol of our freedom and an invitation to release ourselves from the thought prisons that we've put ourselves in. The stone represents the full force and power of God as you, in you. It represents the new thoughts that you hold in mind, the thoughts that are of a higher nature, more in alignment with your divine nature. And it will transform you as you claim the word or the power. In Revelations 2:17, John tells us about the people being given a new name. Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying. To everyone who conquers or overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna for bread. And I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. Manna means bread in Aramaic, and Jesus is saying that the hidden spiritual nourishment will be given to those who choose to live from their Christ consciousness, their divine nature. The name will be revealed from the deepest, most secret part of your being, a name known only to you. And that will be your freedom. It's your clean slate. And the name will represent a quality or essence that will guide you to your new beginning. Now, having just said that it's a name that only you will know, I'm going to share with you my history with the white stone. And you see them? Yeah, I have, this will be my 10th one. And names that came to me over the years were Love was one, Fairy Light 1 year. 1 year, I just felt my dad, and I just felt moving forward, I would have that love, that strength of love that my father had for me, and I would carry that forward into the new year. Freedom, Fearless, Mama G. They've made me stronger, and they've strengthened me. Reverend Roxanne, how about you? And anyone else, if there's anything you'd like to share about anything that's come to you through the White Stone ceremony in the past, please feel free to share it in the chat. Roxanne?
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. Oh, thank you for sharing yours. I think it also helps us understand the types of names that we might come up with. It could be a quality, it could be a practice. And so mine from last year was courage. I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually coeur. It came to me as the French heart, coeur, and the word courage. And yeah, so that was big for me. The previous year for me was acceptance. I've had a lot of like acceptance, listen, open. It's like there's a theme in my life. And so I just want to share at this point as we prepare to go into a much shorter reflection than we did for the burning bowl, because we're already kind of marinated, aren't we, folks? We're pretty well in touch with that divine nature. So I'll be guiding you in a short reflection so that you can yourself determine what is that quality or practice that you're wanting to bring forth. And there's so many different possibilities. Maybe it'll be clarity, trust, acceptance, allowing, stillness, dad, mom, inner peace, wisdom, courage, the possibilities really are endless. And so as we prepare, I invite you to take whatever you have for this portion of the ceremony. It might be a stone where you could write on the other side. Many of you have participated in these over the years. It might be a small piece of paper. It doesn't matter. It might even just be, metaphysically, you're going to do this in your mind. I always like something physical though. So I'm going to hold the back of the courage from last year, and I'm going to use that as mine. And so just want to invite you to prepare for this. I'm just going to get something ready here to play. And so let's just go ahead, and I invite you to close your eyes. If you are, comfortable with that, closing our eyes allows us to deepen into that inner space, that inner sacred space where we're more likely to be listening to that still small voice. And allowing your attention to drop into your heart, to trust, to know that in advance that there is a guiding word, a quality, a practice that can become your touchstone, your anchor, your guide, and that will emerge for you as the most fitting as we enter or have entered and are in the early days yet of this new year, 2022. And as we journey into that heart space, we know too that the mind alone might come up with lots of possibilities. And yet I'm going to challenge us. I'm going to invite us to dip beneath the usual level of thinking, the usual level of sort of efforting and thinking our way through things, and instead anchor in the heart to move ourselves into a place of more sincere, authentic, open receiving. And if you're challenged to get into that heart space, I find that something that always works for me is to just imagine, just bring into your mind's eye something or someone. It might be a two-legged or a four-legged that you're very grateful for, a grandchild, a puppy, a bird, just something that you're really, that just makes your heart sing, and that gets you into your heart space pretty quickly. And if your mind wanders, which it will, because that egoic mind wants to just, be in charge. That's what it does. Just bring yourself back with maybe a mantra like open heart, open heart, open heart. To listen inward to that still small voice of that one power and one presence. And so we ask Divine Mind, Spirit, whatever you call that higher power that is within us and all around us, as I am standing, sitting, being here at the start of a brand new year with my spiritual family and friends, what quality or practice would you have me embody to guide me, to grow me, to teach me what is mine to do? What would you have be my anchor? My touchstone? My go-to quality that is there, that is ever present in the times of ease and grace, and in the not so easy times, those as well. What is the quality that if I had more of that to embody and be aware of, and to be more of that in expression on my journey? I know, I trust, I understand that it would allow a greater expansiveness as I move through the ups and downs of this human experience. What is that? And so I sit, and I invite you to sit. Attention focused on the area of the heart, welcoming the awareness of that guiding word, knowing that the sincere asking and authentic, non-judgmental listening allows that word, that quality to drift or to come in swiftly at its own pace, bringing clarity and ease into my awareness, and to relax and trust if the word is not emerging, that spirit has its own time. Listen. Listen. Open. Open. Receive. Receive. I may recognize it right away, or I may be intrigued by it, curious. It may be something I've thought about in the past few days, or was mentioned that I may be getting signs. Or it may be a word that has come completely unexpectedly. And isn't that the way of spirit when we get out of the way? And yet, I recognize it, the very core of my being. And I turn that word, that quality, that practice around in my mind and my heart. And feel into that quality right here and right now. And if that quality or that word has still not arrived, just feel into the space of being open and listen. That is a delicious space to be in. Knowing that, again, in our tiny human egoic mind, we have no idea. We have no idea how much time something takes. And so I feel into that space right here, right now, with a word or without a word. And I easily imagine all the ways and places and times the embodiment and practice of it will strengthen and make better all aspects of my life. Whatever that word or quality is, or is waiting to be. And so in this holy and sacred moment, I take my pencil or my marker, and if the name, if the quality, if the practice has come to my mind, my heart, I write that on my piece of paper, write it symbolically on my heart or on my stone. And so again, write that quality on your stone or paper or card or into your awareness, and resist the temptation of the mind to argue. Simply write it down. And as you're holding your stone or your paper, and mine is connect. This quality provides a focus and helps to stabilize the egoic mind, the emotional center. And I invite you to work with this word throughout the year. Be curious and enter the mystery of what it holds for you. So whatever it is you have written or hold in your heart or on a piece of paper or stone, my sincere prayer for you is it will be your guiding word, your anchor, your touchstone. So no matter what is going on in your life, whether it's a difficult decision to make, whether it's a relationship challenge to move through, whether it's thoughts of not enough time to do the work or enough time or money, whatever that is, whatever the stuff of life happens, my prayer for you is the very first thought that comes to mind is this word. You see, unity is a practical and an abiding faith and a daily practice. And as spiritual beings having a human experience, our life shifts and changes and transforms. And your word, our words collectively, can play a big part in that year ahead. So happy new year and happy new you. Namaste. So, my friend, Cheryl Rogers.
Well, congratulations. We just completed 2 very powerful and special spiritual rituals. We have spent a lot of time in meditation today. And whether or not you discerned a divine quality, word, or sentence to guide you through the year ahead, all in perfect timing. If something did not come to you today, that's okay. Be aware of what comes alive for you in the next few days. Write these things down, and you will know what your word or sentence from this year will be. With an ever-increasing awareness of our divine nature, Unity Kitchener and Unity Spiritual Centre of Ottawa, working together, have co-curated the coming year's menu of spiritual nourishment. We will be taking a deep dive and exploring spiritual practices and tools which allow us to go deeper on our journey of spiritual unfoldment. With a new year of spiritual potential, our new spiritual theme, taking a deep dive, will provide opportunities for us to explore in the ever-expanding realizations of our divine essence. We trust that each individual will dive to the depth they are comfortable with, and we invite you to stretch yourself a little and go a little deeper. This will be a commitment to your own growth and expansion. All are welcome, whether you are affiliated with one of our ministries or another, or none at all. Together, by expanding our own consciousness, we play a role in Unity's vision of a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
Thank you, Cheryl. Wow, what a morning. Oh, haven't we been busy? We have looked back and we have released. We've cleaned up our messy files and put ourselves in a better order. And then we've looked forward and strengthened our resolve going into the new year, armed with a mighty companion to take with us as we move forward. So we've been to the past, we've been to the future, but I just want to remind everyone that the only moment that matters is this one, right now. We spend too much time back there, too much time worrying about what's there, and especially now. Be right here, right now. Celebrate that. Right now, all is well. Could it be any better than this moment? And I invite all of us to, as much as we can, develop our ability to just be in the moment. Happy New Year, and look forward to seeing you next week.
In closing, thank you for being here for these wonderful, ritualistic, but so important sacred ceremonies. We start our year with this, but as I said before, you can do these ceremonies anytime during the year that you wish. So feel free to go back to them when you need that rejuvenation, that release. And as Roxanne said, look at the word or phrase you chose and have it come to mind at forefront when you're faced with a challenge or a stepping stone or a lesson, and go back to that, because that's what you chose and it was meant to be. In closing our service today, along with Reverend Roxanne, Cheryl, and Brenda, we wish for you that every one of your more than 31 million bedazzling, shimmering new seconds of a blessed 2022 reveal miracles of light and love. Feel the magic and know the love. May each of you experience yourselves as the highest frequency of divine beings that you have always been. May 2022 be a grace-filled, divinely guided year of joy, ease, abundance, and love. We thank you for joining us this morning for this special service and our collaborations amongst many unities today. Please join us for fellowship, and Happy New Year.